Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. I am James Welch, your host for today's show. We are connecting musicians and audiences in real-time performances and music news from around the globe. Today's program highlights two musicians' journeys. We're putting two spotlights on musicians. The first one, collegiate cellist Nahar Eliaz from Israel, who just recently performed the Saint-Saens cello concerto in A minor with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra on our colORCHESTRA project. Then we have a second treat for you with a spotlight on flautist Anastasiya Squires from Ukraine, who recently performed part of the Mozart G Major flute concerto at Carnegie Hall with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra as part of our Laureate Gala. So first up, the first spotlight, Nahar Eliaz. She is a 17-year-old cellist and has internationally distinguished herself by winning first prize and exceptional artist at the 2019 Vienna Grand Prize Virtuoso competition, at the 2020 Golden Classic Music Awards in New York, the 2020 London Grand Prize Virtuoso competition. There's so many of them here. Nahar has won so far the absolute first prize in more than 20 international competitions, starting at the age of 11 years old, such as winning the first prize at the 2017 Morningside Music Bridge Concerto competition and other international competitions all around the globe. The list just goes on and on. Her success led to concerts at venues such as Lincoln Center in New York, Carnegie Hall, Jordan Hall in Boston, Beethoven House in Bonn, Germany, Musikverein Vienna, and Barcelona Arts Center. And she's just a musical treasure here, and at the age of 17. So we have her artist spotlight for her so that you can get to know her and hear her performance with the Western New York Chamber Chamber Orchestra. So enjoy as she takes the center stage again.
Now we have in our studio Nahar Eliaz, cellist from Israel. And I understand, Nahar, you just arrived a day ago, so you must be jet-lagged.
We just talked about it, and I am super jet-lagged. I think it's 4 a.m. in Israel, and I definitely feel like it's 4 a.m. I'm like losing my mind a bit, but it's fun. I like that.
And you just had a very successful rehearsal in this beautiful King Concert Hall. And by the way, the guy behind you is King.
Yeah, he's a cellist. He's Harry King. I just talked about it to some guy here, and he told me he died a long time ago. But yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, he got this wonderful concert hall named after him.
Yeah.
And Nahar, you're very young. You're just 16, but you're a winner of absolute first prizes of more than 20 international competitions. You're really a seasoned competitor, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually, about 16, I'm turning 17 in less than 10 days.
Well, you're still 16, sweet 16.
I know, yeah, but I mean, I'm looking to the future. So actually, in I think 5 days, I think it's the 14th. So I'm gonna be 16 in 6 days, 17 in 6 days. So yeah, that's exciting.
But you already performed and really famous concert venues like Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, Jordan Hall in Boston, and many other places around the world. And you performed with the orchestras before, with the very famous Jerusalem Symphony, right? And among others.
Yeah, I did, and it was everything you mentioned. Everything is really an important experience for me. I learned from every single one of those experiences, a lot, actually, and everything was very fun. With the symphony in Jerusalem, I actually played the Saint-Saens, I think, as well in the Haydn, and a bunch of more orchestras in Israel. I think it's been my dream since I was very young, to do this, and I'm so happy I get to do this now. It's harder than I thought, but it's still fun.
So you wanted to be a touring professional performer ever since you were young?
Since I was, I guess, almost 5 years old, yeah, and it was really young. My inspiration, Jacqueline Dupre, the amazing cellist. So when I was young, every night I would drive my sister crazy because we lived in the same room, and I would listen to her play the Dvorak and Elgar concerto on repeat for I think the entire maybe years. I'm not joking, years. And she would hate it so much, but she was my biggest, and still is my biggest inspiration. So since I was young, I always wanted to play, orchestras, and I love music so much. I love making people smile and myself smile when I do it. So there's nothing better than that. It's the best thing you can do, really.
It certainly is your world, and you sound like you're really enjoying it, like you're in your own element when you're performing.
I always try to. It's always important to me to have my personal interpretation of a piece and what I feel, what I think about it, because I think it's what makes an artist. If you're just trying to copy someone, it's fine to have inspirations, I'm not saying that, but always important to have your own kind of, connection with the piece. It's, in the end of the day, it's just music. It's just notes on a paper. You need to, feel whatever you want, tell a story, and it's just so much fun to do every single time.
But it also takes a lot of support. You have fabulous teachers. You're studying with Professor Lawrence Lesser right now, and Professor Hillel Zori. These are fantastic musicians. I'm sure they're sharing a wealth of experience and knowledge and tricks and tips with you.
For sure. They've done this many more years than I have. And I think I love their advices so much. Both of them are amazing teachers, because they can share, I think mostly also mental advices for me. Not everything is about always just technical stuff. Obviously that's really helpful, but sometimes it's about, because they've been through so much, they can look everything from more up than I can, the bigger picture, you can say. And that sometimes helps me, because I look at everything I want to do this the best and this one the best. So they're it's okay, you can, they can give me mental advice, which I think it's important for everyone in every job, in everything you do.
Absolutely. It's very important to have wonderful trusted mentors who can show you the bigger picture, just like you said.
Yeah.
Well, you just need support from people, and that's all you need. The rest you're doing yourself. You're studying music, you're learning new pieces, you're performing, you're courageous, you walk on big stages, and you enjoy it. You really fly with the moment and putting your heart into music. But if you could have any wish in the world, what would you like people around you do more for you to help you achieve your goals and your dreams?
That's a great question, I think. I'm going to answer this in a bit complicated way. I hope it's fine.
Totally fine. Go for it.
Fine? Okay, I'm going to tell a story. Okay? Story
Please
time.
do.
So, since I was very young, as I told you, I loved listening, 4 years old, I loved listening to classical music every single night. I would imagine myself play on a big stage and everything, and just listening to it. And, I feel many kids, especially children in my age or even younger, they don't really know classical music because they have, bad stereotypes about it, it's boring, it's long, people dress it all in black, But that's not true. I think classical music has everything pop and rock has, even better. I love pop and rock. I love everything. I love everything really, but classical music is no different from any other kind of music. And my wish, biggest one, is that people, especially in my age, will listen to it, and I think, and love it as much as I do, or however they feel about it. It's just music, and I feel like the way to do it is that we in the industry need to change our image and everything, like how we dress, how we talk, everything. I think I'm trying to do it with the way I speak and talk. I want to appear more casually, and I think, and I am. It's how I really am. I'm not like, it's how I am in real life. So I think all of us, doesn't matter what we do in the industry, need to make it a bit more appealing to younger audience. So because I think we're missing a lot of people that we really enjoy it if we just change the image.
And how would you advise for older people, like the generation of your teachers, to change their image?
I feel like it's not really from the teachers. I feel like, again, I love the music. Nothing to change about the music itself, because that's perfect already. Everything aside from the music, the actual music, we should change. Even the way we dress, the way we advertise the concerts, because we know what younger people want. We live, all of us, in the reality. We all know what goes popular and what not. So we should, all of us, in every way possible. It's gonna take a lot of time. I'm not saying it's very easy. It's very difficult, but we should try and change things slowly. Whether it's how we dress, how we talk, how we advertise, everything. Make it appealing to everyone, so everyone can enjoy it from every single age.
Yeah, not to be so snobbish, right?
No. No.
But that's a great advice. Listen to the young people, really understand what younger generation wants, and to appeal so that they have the door open for this great ocean of beautiful music you write.
Yeah.
Wonderful advice. Thank you, Nahar. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for your dedication and love for music, for speaking with me. I'm
It was
so
my
looking
pleasure.
forward to hearing your concert.
Thank you. Me too. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Go get some sleep.
I really, really want to. I don't know where. Maybe here. I don't know. I'll find somewhere.
Yeah. You need some rest so you're fresh for your concert tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
See you. Bye-bye for now.
Wow, it's just a fabulous performance. It's just so much fun reliving that again. And Nahar has just done so many wonderful things and will be doing much more. And can't wait to hear what comes in the recent future with her musical developments and her career. Congratulations, Nahar. To learn more about being a part of our events like colORCHESTRA, we have information on all of our websites. The Sound Espressivo competition website has all the info, and so does the Progressive Musicians website. And we most of our deadlines for colORCHESTRA experiences are November 15th, the Boulder, Colorado Symphony. That deadline's March 1st. All the information on our websites there. And if you have any more questions or inquiries about repertoire or whatever, you can message us at director@progressivemusicians.com or info@colORCHESTRA.com. The colORCHESTRA domain is actually live. You can visit that website. The website's a little bit under construction, but you can see what's to come from that eventually as well. But yeah, contact us. We're on all the social media platforms, and we will. You can message us there as well. And there we go. Yep, here we are. So we live on these. We live on our email, and don't feel shy. Give us a holler. We'll answer your questions. Okay, so colORCHESTRA is the newest of our ventures, but we also have the Laureate Galas that we have been producing over the years at Carnegie Hall, and we are going to move the spotlight over to that event. This past June, we had our second Laureate Gala at Carnegie Hall, featuring many artists, along with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra under Maestro Giacomo Franchi. And we're going to move that spotlight now to a fabulous flautist, Anastasiya Squires. Anastasiya was born in Ukraine. Her first performance was at age 4, and at age 7, she won her first international competition. She finished her master's at the National Music Academy of Ukraine and a solo performance diploma at Roosevelt University. Anastasiya has had the honor to perform for the Austrian president, the Ukrainian Minister of Culture, the Prime Minister of the State of Kuwait, the WFMT Dame Myra Hess, and at Chicago Symphony Center. Concerto performances include with the Lviv Symphony Orchestra of the National Philharmonic of Ukraine, Symphony Orchestra of the NMA of Ukraine, and the CCPA Orchestra, FVO Orchestra, all acronyms from Ukrainian orchestras there. Her debut CD was produced by Aeolian Classics, and she gave a wonderful performance of the first movement of the Mozart G Major Concerto with the New York Chamber Players in New York on our Laureate Gala. So now we're gonna move the spotlight over to her and learn a little bit more about her life and hear how she prepared for this gala. Anastasiya, welcome back to the center stage.
And we're very delighted to welcome into the studio a wonderful flautist. Her name is Anastasiya Squires, and she was born in Ukraine. Anastasiya, welcome to our studio.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We're very excited to hear your performance. I believe you'll be performing a movement from a Mozart flute concerto.
Correct, yes.
And how did you happen to choose that particular piece?
Well, D Major Concerto is my most favorite concerto that Mozart wrote. Actually, it was originally written for oboe and then translated for flute. But it brings all of the flute melodies and technical things. So I just happen to love it so much, and it's my pleasure that I can perform it in Carnegie Hall.
Yes. Uh, is this your first trip to New York?
Yes, it is.
Oh, really? And so what do you think of the city so far?
I'm in love. It's amazing. It actually reminds me so much of Chicago, but bigger. And it's like so many. We went to with my husband to see the Late Show where Stephen Colbert. I'm a big fan. Big pictures there, and Central Park and Hotel Plaza. I mean, it's just so much things to see. So many. Yeah.
Now, as noted, you live in Chicago, but you were born in Lviv, Ukraine. And how many years did you spend in Ukraine before you left?
I think I left when I was in 20 years, something
Ah.
like that. So yeah, I came to United States in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you speak English so beautifully. Did you study English in Ukraine?
I did, but the main English lesson was when I actually came here and I understood that everything I know was less than a zero. So I had to get really intense with my English. So when I became a Roosevelt University student, I had intense English classes. It was, speaking, writing, reading,
Right.
talking, yeah.
Now, it says in your background, in the resume that I have, that your first performance was at the age of 4. Now, how does someone who is 4-year-old play the flute?
That's actually an interesting story. So I have an older sister that she was studying in a musical school, piano. And me and my mom were always going to support her, wait for her basically, for her lesson to be over. And one teacher saw me and she's like, why would you just sit here and waste, time? You can also have some lessons here. So she was teaching Ukrainian flute. And I came there, I tried it, and she's like, wow, you have, talent to music as well, so would you like to attend my lessons? So this is how I started to attend flute Ukrainian version of that. And this is how was my first concert, playing with my sister on the stage. She was playing piano, I was playing flute.
Now, it says that at the age of 7, you won your first international competition. So that means 36 months after you started, taking up the instrument, you won a competition. How is that possible?
So at the age of 6, I became a student of Lviv musical special boarding school for extraordinary talented kids with music. and I learned how to play classical flute. And then my professor told me about the competition in Poland if I would like to attend. So of course I agreed to it, and as it happens, I became grand prize winner.
It just happened.
I mean, I was getting ready for it. I was working hard, and
Yeah.
everything was memorized. And I just love classical flute. I was so happy to switch from Ukrainian version to classical flute. Yeah.
And then you have a cadenza.
Yes. Would you like me to play it?
Yeah. Just play the cadenza, yes.
Okay.
the end also like that.
Yes.
Because in the part here is not. You just take the part of the first violins. Play. You like to play that? That's fine.
I do.
The cadenza is very clear. I understand what you are doing. There is a trillo lower than higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Do you have any questions? Otherwise, you are playing is very straightforward. That's not difficult to understand. It's very
Thank
clear.
you.
Everything very, very beautiful.
And you then, did you attend the Chicago, the Roosevelt University, Chicago Performing Arts, didn't you?
Yes, yes,
And so you left Ukraine to come to Chicago.
yes.
And how did you get a scholarship? How did you happen to pick the CCPA at Roosevelt University?
Well, actually, the story behind how I came to United States was invitation from Chicago Symphony for the principal flute audition. So I came for the audition, and so later I realized, okay, my language is not good, and I need to know more people. I need to know the way American, way of playing flute. So I decided to go to Roosevelt University. I like the location, and I mean, it's so close to Chicago Symphony, so yeah, this is how I chose Roosevelt University, basically. Good location.
Did you audition for that in person at Orchestra Hall?
Yes, on the main stage.
Oh my goodness!
Yes,
And,
and that's actually my first audition I ever took.
is that right? I'll bet you came pretty close. And who are you studying with now in Chicago?
So I already graduated, but my professor was at that time assistant principal flute of Chicago Symphony, Richard Graff. So I auditioned to become his student, and he was happy to have me there. And very quickly I got a scholarship. So I became a full-time student for solo performance, flute solo performance diploma.
I see. Are you familiar with the Kiev Moila Institute Academy?
Moila? No.
Yeah.
I studied in Kiev Music Academy, named after Tchaikovsky.
And lastly, Anastasia, you recently issued a CD on the Aeolian Classics label.
Yes.
And what is on that CD?
Is a lot of classical famous flute repertoire that was chosen by the president of the competition in collaboration with me. He actually recording piano with me on that CD. He's accompanying for me. So that was a competition that I won. So part of that competition was to play in the best concert halls, in Carnegie Hall in Chicago, one of them, and recording the CD. So that was my honor.
Wonderful. Where was that album recorded?
Well, the recording itself we did at Roosevelt University in Guns Hall. It's a beautiful stage, great acoustics, so no wonder we chose that space. And it's very familiar to me because I played a lot of recitals there too during my education.
I see. You know, I'm on the board of the CCPA. Did you know that?
No.
Yes, I'm on the
That's a
board.
nice surprise.
Yes,
Oh, that's amazing.
I left Chicago. I live in Boston, but I'll be in Chicago Friday. Maybe we'll get together. It's wonderful to have you on. Anastasia, I appreciate your time very much, and we look forward to your performance on Tuesday. And thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you.
Wow, just a polished musician she is, and I mean, so Nahar and so many of the other musicians, all of the musicians that we've been working with, just have special, unique talents that are. We're very fortunate to just hear such wonderful musicianship through all our events. And also, you know, just a quick shout out to all the private teachers that help make that happen, because, you know, that's never recognized enough. So thank you, private teachers, for that. If you would like to be part of our Laureate Galas, you can visit any of our websites. We have the SoundEspressivoCompetition.com, all the information there, as well as many other events, the colORCHESTRA and their own online events. And then we have the Progressive Musicians website with all of the information on there and some of the Progressive Musicians events as well. You email any inquiries that you have or questions, you know, to director@progressivemusicians.com. And a deadline to apply for the Laureate Galas and all of our Laureate Gala events, including ensembles, is October 1st. The ensembles is the 15th as well. Yep. Okay. So there's time for the ensembles. There's time for everything. So talk to your teachers and decide what might be best for you, and practice. But before we close out here, we have prepared a short video that gives you all the best of our season highlights that we'll play for you right now. music there, and we have so many events this season. That music was written by the Virtual Concert Hall's composer in residence, Ala Lowry, and just enjoy that. I feel like I'm in child happy place every time I hear that, and then I see all the events and it's like, ooh, yeah, things to do, events to be a part of. Great. So with that, we will wrap up by thanking our musicians, audiences, and supporters, and there's a bunch of them there. We have a lot of support and a lot of connections that we're so grateful for. And we're streaming on all of our platforms here, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we're streaming right now. And then we have a team of technical musical wizards behind the scenes here at Virtual Concert Halls, and we could not make these broadcasts possible without all of these people listed here. Thank you, audience. Thank you, musicians. Thank you, supporters. Thank you, team. Thank you, private teachers. Thank you, family. And thank you, everybody else, for all that you do to make programs like this possible. I'm James Welch, owner of Progressive Musicians, and your host here at Virtual Concert Halls today, saying goodbye and have a lovely afternoon.